Hey everyone, I'm Josh and I'm one of the volunteers with Middle School Ministries, and we are actually coming to you live here from the Henry Vilas Zoo. Now, why are we actually here at the zoo? Is it because I'm asking you to donate to the zoo? Well, no, although it is a free zoo, so they do depend on your donations. But we are actually here because I really like zoos and animals. Like, whenever I'm even traveling for work, if I have a little bit of extra time, I'll usually try and find a local aquarium or a local zoo. Or when my wife and I first got married, we spent our honeymoon in South Africa so that we could go on a safari and see wild animals in their natural habitats. We actually even got on a ship and then jumped out of that ship into the ocean so that we could go swimming with sharks. I'm here because we are starting a new short unit about God's creation. And I get to kick things off with the awe and wonder that we can feel when we experience all of God's creation. There are so many amazing animals out there, and these are things that get me really passionate. Now, there are different things that get different people passionate about God's creation. I know for Pastor Chris, he gets really excited about the stars in the night sky and all things astronomy. And for Caitlin, who was part of our videos a couple of years ago, she got really excited by plants. And so she even studied plants and biology. But again, for me, I really like the animals. I love biodiversity. I love the fact that God can take these tiny little strands of DNA and design them so that you get all kinds of different creatures, starting with individual cells and the DNA telling those cells what to do. And then you get millions and billions of those cells, and those come together to form different animals. We get all kinds of animals that will, well, some animals that'll eat anything that you put in front of them. You get animals that can slither around and undulate their legless bodies so that they can still climb trees and eat all kinds of things. There's animals that can swim deeper than any human possibly could, fly higher. Well, we can't fly at all, so all of them can fly higher than us. There's animals here that have skin that is up to 2 inches thick with crisscrossing collagen fibers that it basically just becomes a natural armor. There's animals that have 2 layers of fur that is all extra oily, which allows them to be completely waterproof and to swim even in the frozen Arctic. There's all kinds of animals that have their eyes actually on the sides of their heads, so that they have a wider field of vision and can see if there's any predators that are coming towards them. And other animals, actually like humans, where our eyes are in the front of our heads, so that we can focus in and help us find our prey. Each and every one of these creatures are so amazing, and I could talk about them for hours on end. But we're just gonna be focusing in on God's creation and the awe and the wonder that that means for us. Now, there are still cases where animals are losing their habitats and becoming endangered, but we're not going to focus on that this week. We're going to talk more about climate change and its impact actually next week with Vinya and Dr. Rick. But today, let's focus on our awe and our wonder. Now, the Bible does talk about this too. There's sections, for example, in Genesis, where there's a famous creation story. But today, we're actually going to be looking at a psalm in our groups. We're going to be looking at Psalm 104. And I'm going to start with just a piece of that psalm. Psalm 104, verses 24 through 28. How many are your works, Lord? In wisdom you made them all. The earth is full of your creatures. There's the sea vast and spacious, teeming with creatures beyond number. Living things both large and small, the ships grow to and fro, and Leviathan, which you formed to frolic there. All creatures look to you to give them their food at the proper time. When you give it to them, they gather it up. When you open your hand, they are satisfied with good things. How awesome is that? There are so many creatures, all created by God. God who created them, God who feeds them, God who satisfies. Now, before we go, why don't you turn to your neighbor and ask them how they are inspired by God's creation. Maybe it's by animals like me. Maybe it's by going on nature walks or seeing the night sky. What about our world inspires you?